What if I told you that your voice isn't just a symbol or a metaphor, but actually an ancestral medicine, a living force that lives inside your chest, just waiting to be remembered? It's a vibration that, when used with intention, can unlock your buried emotions and awaken hidden codes of self-healing inside you. For centuries, we've been taught to stay quiet, not to shout, not to sing in public, to be afraid of hearing ourselves. But what if that silence was actually a kind of prison? And what if, when you sing, you're not just making music, but freeing your soul? Imagine there's a key inside you, a golden seed of light buried deep in your energy, asleep and waiting for the exact right tone to wake it up. That tone is your voice. For ages, cultures from the Egyptian temples to Himalayan sages have used singing not as entertainment, but as medicine. They understood that every part of your body vibrates at its own frequency, that sound travels beyond your ears to resonate in your cells, your blood, your soul. When sung with purpose, your body remembers, your soul responds, and your energy rises. This isn't a music lesson. It's a journey into your subtle energy. We'll explore how your voice, combined with frequency, breath, and intention, can become a channel for medicine as ancient as the universe itself. I'll guide you through forgotten healing chambers, mantras from ancient manuscripts, and wisdom that survived for thousands of years. You'll see how singing in a certain way can instantly unlock your healing energy. It's not about singing well, but singing from the soul. We'll discover the seed sounds that activate your chakras, the tones that balance your nervous system, and chants that open expanded states of consciousness. You don't need any instruments. You are the instrument. You are the temple. And once you realize this, you'll understand there's no limit to what you can heal. So get ready to sing like never before, not just with your mouth, but with your spirit, not with fear, but with fire. Because in the end, maybe the real secret isn't what you sing, but who you are when you sing. Since the first humans looked up at the sky and heard the wind whisper through the trees, we've known everything vibrates. Before we had written words, knowledge was passed down through song. Tribes, shamans, and priests of ancient temples all knew sound was more than just something you hear. It was a living current that could open portals, heal the body, raise consciousness, and connect with the divine. In Egypt, they talked about the creative word. Thoth, the god of wisdom and sacred speech, taught that the universe was created by sound, not an explosion, but a conscious vibration shaping the chaos. Hindu tradition speaks of Om, the primal sound from which everything comes. The Gospel of John says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God." Different cultures, same message. Sound is the bridge between what's seen and unseen. But there was even deeper knowledge, reserved for initiates. Not only was the universe created by vibration, but the human body, as a small universe itself, could be healed by the same principle. From that understanding came the harmonic chants of Tibetan monks, Vedic mantras, Sufi singing meditations, and Western esoteric sound rituals. Each culture developed its own spiritual sound technology. The ancient sages knew the body is like a lyre. If one string is off, everything gets out of balance. But if you find the right note, the right vibration can bring harmony back. Disease, from this view, is just a frequency that's out of tune. Healing is the art of reminding the body of its original music. Your voice is pure alchemy because no sound is more powerful for your system than one born from within. Your voice is unique, carrying your soul's energetic signature, and when you use it with intention, it becomes a tool that breaks through emotional blocks, restores your energy field, and wakes up dormant codes. Singing wasn't just entertainment, it was ritual, a spiritual technology. In some mystery schools, singing was a way to commune with the soul of the world. They believed the right chants, voiced from the heart, could move cosmic energies, open dimensional doorways, and regenerate organs. Today, that wisdom comes back in new ways, with new words, but the same spirit. It's time to remember what you already know. It's time to sound the tone that resonates with your deepest self. Because with every conscious note, you wake up a part of you that already knows how to heal. To understand how singing can unlock your healing power instantly, you have to drop the idea of the voice as just a vocal act. In the esoteric arts, the voice isn't born in the throat. It springs from the root of your life force. It's a vibrational river flowing from the deepest parts of your being, and when expressed with awareness and intention, it can reshape your energy blueprint. Everything starts with one universal truth: vibration. Everything vibrates: cells, thoughts, emotions, organs, each with its own natural frequency, like notes in a symphony. When something's off, it's out of tune. That's why singing at a specific frequency reminds your body how to sound right. But the key is not to sing just anything. Healing singing comes from the soul's tone. It's about raw, instinctive sounds free from structure, letting your voice explore its primal vibration. There are no musical rules here, no scores. It's the primal song rising from your belly like sacred smoke toward your heart and mind. Imagine your body like a cathedral, where each chakra is a chamber with its own unique acoustics. Conscious singing makes those inner halls come alive, freeing trapped energy. When you sing from your solar plexus, you ignite your personal power. When your voice vibrates in the throat, you clear out buried truths. And when you dare to sound from your heart, you heal wounds you didn't even know were there. There are seed sounds that work like keys. A resonates in the heart. E cleanses the throat. I sparks inner vision. O opens the solar plexus. U wakes the root chakra. These sustained vowels, charged with intention, vibrate like strings that restore balance. It's not about mindless repetition, but about feeling each tone and letting your body sing along. Another essential piece is breath. Breath is the wood that fuels the fire of your voice. Before you sing a note, take a conscious breath as if you're breathing in light, and on the exhale, let that light become sound. Then your voice becomes a spiritual exhalation. Without full breath, singing is just noise, not medicine. Your electromagnetic field, that subtle aura surrounding your body, responds incredibly sensitively to vocal frequencies. Modern science is just starting to catch up with what ancient traditions always knew. Your voice's harmonics boost heart coherence, trigger endorphin release, and help restore balance at the cellular level. But beyond the science, what really matters is how you feel. A free voice heals simply by daring to resonate from the soul. In this first part, you've opened the door. You're starting to see your voice as an instrument of inner alchemy. Next, we'll go deeper, exploring how this practice becomes a gateway to spiritual growth, how it activates sacred memories encoded in your DNA, and how you can use it to transform not just your health, but your whole reality. Now that you understand how your voice's vibration affects your energy centers, it's time to dive in, because conscious singing doesn't just restore and balance. It remembers and awakens. The soul, like the earth, holds buried layers of memory, and there are sounds, like lost keys, that open inner doors to dimensions you once forgot, but always belonged to you. Ancient sages knew this. Egyptian priests chanted ritual tones inside temple chambers. In India, mantras weren't empty prayers but activation codes. Shamans sang icaros, medicinal songs, channeled directly from plant spirits. Everyone agreed. The voice is more than human. It's spiritual technology designed to tune you into the universe's vibrational web. But how can something as simple as a song affect something as deep as the soul or your physical health? This is where harmonics come in. Every note you sing creates a family of overtones, harmonics, that ripple through your energetic body. Some of these waves resonate in your physical tissues, others interact with subtler layers. Your emotional, mental, even causal bodies where karmic memories and archetypes live. When you sing with healing intention, you clear your field and shine light on the dark corners of your unconscious. Maybe you felt how a spontaneous sound can bring tears for no clear reason. That's vibration bringing up what no longer needs to hide. Conscious singing becomes a gentle exorcism, not casting out strangers but freeing your own ghosts. And it doesn't stop there. Certain vocal frequencies, when held from a place of inner silence, activate what some call the golden code of spiritual DNA. Though this idea is deeply esoteric, cutting-edge science is now exploring it. Certain vibrations can restore the original luminous patterns of your energy field. Put simply, singing with awareness helps you remember who you were before you forgot. Here, singing goes beyond therapy. It becomes ritual, an act of inner magic. You can practice alone in the quiet intimacy of your altar or outside in nature, where trees echo your voice like a vibrational mirror. The place matters less than presence. When you sing to reveal, not impress, your voice becomes a sacred thread that unites your scattered pieces. One of sacred singing's most powerful effects is dissolving the illusion of separation. Through sustained vibration, you sense the deep unity between yourself and everything around you. This isn't a metaphor, it's real. Resonance creates coherence, and when you live in vibrational harmony with your surroundings, your body and your spirit, you enter a natural state of multidimensional health. In short, conscious singing isn't just an artistic luxury, it's a mystical tool, a soul technology lost for centuries and now returning to you. Your voice was never made only for talking or singing. It was made to help you remember the original language of your light. Knowing your voice is medicine is just the beginning. Now it's time to learn how to use it with respect and intention. Here are some simple but deeply effective daily practices to unlock your singing's healing power. First, let go of the idea that you need to know how to sing. Healing through vibration isn't about vocal skills or how you sound. What really matters is your intention. When you sing from your center, your soul, even imperfect notes become powerful medicine. Drop the judgment. Your voice is your sacred instrument, not your harshest critic. Chant with the earth. Find a natural spot, a forest, riverbank, or mountain, and hold a sustained vowel sound. The basic A resonates with the heart. Close your eyes and feel the earth receiving your vibration. If you can, go barefoot so your energy grounds and flows downward. Sing with your body. Place a hand where you feel physical or emotional tension and direct your voice there. You don't need to guess the right note. Trust your intuition. Start with a gentle M hum and let it grow. This wakes up the cellular intelligence that responds to frequencies of love and care. Dawn or dusk chant. Sunrise and sunset are natural vibrational gateways. Pick a sacred syllable, Om, Ah, Jai Ram, and repeat it in a steady tone while watching the horizon. These chants tune you to the universe's rhythms and raise your magnetic energy. Silent singing. You can chant silently inside. Internal vibration is just as powerful. If you can't make a sound, imagine your voice resonating from your chest or forehead, filling you with light. This practice is especially helpful during anxiety, fear, or insomnia. Keep a singing journal. After each session, jot down what you felt, emotions, memories, images that surfaced. Your voice guides you to parts of yourself that were asleep. Tracking these experiences reveals your unique healing patterns. Most importantly, sing without chasing results. Healing can't be rushed or measured by progress. It's a dance between your intention and the universe's response. Even 5 minutes of singing daily sends a clear message to your body and soul. I am here. I am open. I am listening. At its core, singing is listening to yourself. And when you truly listen, healing begins. Pause and consider this. What if the universe was born from a sound? Not a blast, but a primal vibration, a silent chant that filled everything. Ancient wisdom from around the world agrees. From the Word with God to the eternal Om of the East, they all point to one transcendent truth. Sound is the foundation of existence. And if the universe sings, so do you. Made of the same stardust, you were born with a cosmic instrument between your chest and throat. It's not just about talking or making music. It's about remembering that your voice is a direct beam of your consciousness, a spark that can move matter, heal cells, and open hidden dimensions. What science calls vibration, mystics call power. Along this journey, we've explored not just how to sing, but why singing opens the gates of the soul. You've seen that singing isn't a musical skill, it's an alchemical act. Singing with focus and intention can release trauma, balance your energy centers, and reconnect you with the whole. Sound doesn't just travel through the air, it shapes your inner world. The right vibration at the right time, charged with pure intention, can transform your life. You don't need distant temples. Your body is the temple, your throat the altar. Singing is offering yourself as a channel to the sacred, not to understand, but to live the mystery. And in that moment of surrender to vibration, healing happens naturally beyond logic or effort. So sing. Sing when you're hurting. Sing when words fail. Sing when no one's listening, because the one who really needs to hear you is your own soul, and she alone knows the truth of your sound. Let this wisdom move from the screen into your life. Tonight, try a short chant before bed. Tomorrow, sing at dawn. Make your voice a continuous prayer, sacred medicine, a torch lit from within. If this video has sparked even a small flame inside you, hold on to that light. Like, share with fellow seekers, and above all, subscribe. Here we explore truths not found in books, but revealed in the silence between notes. Because here, we do more than speak, we sing with spirit. Imagine money isn't just paper, numbers, or debt, but a subtle force, a living current that moves with the invisible laws of the universe. What if I told you that money has a spirit, and its flow isn't controlled only by economic rules or market trends, but by the frequency your inner self vibrates at? This might sound bold, but this idea was whispered in ancient temples, encoded in secret symbols, and protected by traditions that understood energy and matter are deeply connected. Today we're diving into knowledge you won't find in banks or economics classes. The real truth about money's energy goes beyond surface logic and invites us to explore deeper parts of ourselves. We'll talk about how this energy responds not to desperate want, but to vibrational harmony, not to greed, but to the soul being in tune with its true value. Because money doesn't come to those who need it the most. It comes to those most in sync with its secret language. It's a loyal partner to inner confidence, a mirror of your connection to the abundance around you. In this video, we'll reveal how to reactivate that lost connection and awaken the magnetic awareness inside you that can attract resources, opportunities, and well-being from a genuine and deep place. We'll explore the spiritual and philosophical roots of this idea, showing how ancient cultures saw money as a form of divine energy. We'll also look at how shifting your vibration can change your financial reality. I'll share practical steps to raise your frequency, conscious rituals to align with this golden current, and keys to unlocking the abundance you already carry. This isn't about quick tricks to get rich. It's an invitation to remember that the universe is already overflowing with wealth, and you're part of it. When you tune into that truth, money stops being something you chase and becomes something that naturally follows you. Get ready, because what you're about to learn could change not just your bank account, but your entire relationship with the creative energy of the universe. To truly get money's energy, we have to look beyond today's financial systems. We need to dig into the roots of ancient wisdom, where money wasn't just a means to trade, but a living symbol of vital energy in motion. In civilizations like Egypt, India, and Mesopotamia, the flow of wealth was tied to sacred give and take. For example, in Egypt, gold wasn't just a valuable metal. It was seen as the flesh of the gods, a spiritual conductor holding the power of the sun. It's no accident that pharaohs surrounded themselves with gold, not just to show off, but as a bridge between their earthly power and divine authority. Gold stood for alignment with the source of creation. In Vedic traditions, Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance, isn't just about money. She represents the flow of harmony, beauty, gratitude, and inner balance. Wealth wasn't earned by force, but naturally came when someone lived in alignment with their life purpose. Wealth and spirituality weren't opposites. They reflected the same energy. Plato talked about a world of pure ideas, where everything physical is just an imperfect copy of perfect forms. If we apply this to money, physical coins and bank numbers are just shadows of a deeper energy, the creative energy behind exchange. Like a river, this energy needs clear paths to keep flowing. Even in ancient alchemy, gold wasn't about greed. The process of turning lead into gold symbolized an inner transformation, from ignorance to enlightenment. In that sense, gold, and money by extension, represents the crystallization of higher consciousness in the physical world. So how did this sacred symbol get twisted? Over time, money's energy got cut off from its spiritual roots. It lost connection with intention, soul, and reciprocity. What we got was a cold system where money feels scarce, competitive, and dirty. But this problem isn't money's fault. It reflects a broken inner connection. To reclaim money's true power, we need to restore that ancient understanding. Money is an extension of your energy, a reflection of your vibration. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions align, money flows effortlessly, as a blessing, not a struggle, like a river responding to the pull of your purpose. Imagine money not as paper or numbers, but as a subtle breeze, charged with intention that only lands where there's harmony. It's not that money's unpredictable. It follows a deeper law than supply and demand, the law of resonance. Everything in the universe vibrates, and money is no exception. Like a guitar string that vibrates only at certain frequencies, money's energy is drawn not by force, but by the vibrational harmony of the person calling it. This principle is ancient but often dismissed as mysticism, though it's actually very practical. Money flows toward purpose, presence, and permission. What does that mean? First, purpose. Money's energy activates when you're connected to a cause that matches your core self. Wanting money just for money's sake scatters that energy. The universe doesn't respond to chaotic greed. It responds to clear intention. Energetically, money becomes an ally when it senses it will serve something greater. Second is presence. Many want wealth but live distracted, anxious about the future, or stuck in the past. That scattered energy pushes money away. Presence anchors energy. When you're truly present, breathing consciously with mind and heart aligned, you become a powerful magnetic field. That's when money starts swirling toward you like golden dust pulled by a magnet. The third key is permission, probably the most overlooked one. Many people want abundance but unknowingly tell themselves that money is bad, that they don't deserve it, that the wealthy are corrupt, or that money and spirituality don't mix. These beliefs act like invisible walls. You can work hard, pray, and say all the right affirmations, but if you haven't opened the inner door to permission, the flow will stay limited. Giving yourself permission means letting go of judgments and healing your emotional relationship with money. It's realizing there's nothing wrong with attracting abundance when it comes with integrity. A great example comes from nature. A tree doesn't ask for permission to soak up sunlight or wonder if the rain it receives is too much. It simply accepts because it's part of the natural cycle. It's built to thrive. In the same way, humans are designed to receive, not from ego, but from their true blueprint. When you tap into that blueprint, everything flows, including money. So activating money's energy isn't about asking for more. It's about vibrating differently, becoming a kind of antenna that sends out frequencies of clarity, gratitude, purpose, and beauty. Money, as a kind of intelligent energy, isn't just meant to be collected. It wants to expand through those who can handle it without losing integrity. It offers itself to those who can use it as a bridge, not a trap. In short, money's energy comes from within. It's not something you get from outside. It's something you awaken by tuning your vibration. Those who get this stop chasing and start attracting. One of the least talked about truths about money is that it's not enough to attract it. You also have to sustain it. And sustaining it doesn't mean hoarding out of fear. It means having the emotional, energetic, and spiritual capacity to be a steady vessel for that energy. Money's energy isn't just a reward, it's also a test of balance. Many open the door, but few can keep it open without letting it overflow. Once activated, money's energy acts like an amplifier. It doesn't change who you are, but reveals what's already inside you. If you carry resentment, fear, chaos, or emptiness, money won't fix those. It'll just make them more visible. But if you cultivate gratitude, clarity, responsibility, and vision, money becomes a natural extension of your inner strength. Just like fire reveals what's inside metal, abundance reveals what's inside your soul. Keeping this energy steady is an alchemical process. Just saying affirmations or doing rituals won't cut it. It takes ongoing commitment to your level of consciousness. Imagine abundance as a stream of clear water, and you're the channel it flows through. If that channel is blocked by old beliefs, buried emotions, or harmful habits, the water either pools up or overflows. But if you clear the channel by working on yourself with discipline and love, the water flows freely. This is where real spiritual practice comes in. Meditating, breathing mindfully, writing down your intentions, healing family wounds and ancestral patterns. These aren't just symbolic actions, they're energetic work. You're tuning your inner field to both receive and hold a higher frequency. You're training your mind, body, and soul. So money isn't a burden or obsession, but just part of the natural flow. There's one more key piece. Service. People who truly hold money's energy understand it's not for hoarding, but for circulation. Money, like life itself, breathes. It inhales when you receive it, exhales when you share it. If you only hold on to it, it stagnates. If you only give it away without receiving, you burn out. The trick is finding the right rhythm. That's why many wise teachers say, abundance grows when it's used to serve love, growth, and beauty. Your body plays an important role here too. Your posture, your breathing, your energy centers, especially around the solar plexus and heart, are all sensors of this flow. If you live tense, shoulders slumped, eyes focused on lack, you close off the internal gates where money's energy moves. But if you stay open, grounded, and aligned physically, it not only boosts your health, but widens your field of attraction. Finally, there's conscious intention. It's not about just asking for money, but asking, what do I want this energy for? How will I grow it? Who will benefit from it? The universe responds much more when your desire to receive is tied to something bigger. When abundance isn't just for you, but to uplift, inspire, and support others. That's when money's energy becomes sacred, no longer just a cold transaction, but a living dance between your soul and the universe. When you really get this, you don't just receive, you become a conscious channel for abundance's miracle. Living in harmony with money's energy isn't a one-time achievement, it's a dynamic, ongoing relationship that calls for daily presence, awareness, and alignment. For many, money equals stress, competition, or scarcity. But when you see it as a spiritual frequency, a pulse responding to your inner state, you start relating to it in a calmer, more powerful, and authentic way. Here are some practical principles to help you walk this path. 1. Reprogram your beliefs through your body, not just your mind. Mental affirmations are helpful, but if your nervous system is still stuck in survival mode, your energy won't connect with the flow. Start by noticing your breath whenever you think or talk about money. If it feels tight, fast, or your chest gets tense, you're not in sync. Practice slow, deep belly breaths while telling yourself that money is safe and you're ready to receive it. This simple habit starts to shift your physiology, and with it, your magnetic field. 2. Dance with abundance. Money's energy is movement. If your body feels stiff and your emotions are stuck, the flow can't come through. Music can be medicine. Pick a song that inspires abundance, not necessarily about money, but something that makes you feel expansive, confident, and joyful, and dance for a few minutes each morning. Don't treat it like exercise, but as an energetic ritual to set your day up for the right vibration. 3. Learn to say thank you before receiving. The universe responds to vibration, not linear time. When you thank something as if it's already here, you send a clear signal of alignment. Start a gratitude journal focused on abundance. Don't just list what you already have. Write down what's on its way. Phrases like, "Thank you for unexpected opportunities," "Thank you for people who value my work," or "Thank you for money that comes easily and with purpose." Train your frequency to match what you want. 4. Give without attachment. Receive without guilt. Many people block money's flow because they don't know how to receive. Others give out of sacrifice or obligation. Practice giving from the heart without draining yourself, and practice receiving without feeling you have to justify, apologize, or owe something in return. Money's energy needs balance. Give and receive with equal openness. Small acts of generosity and accepting generosity in any form, including compliments, keep the energy moving. 5. Surround yourself with symbols of prosperity. Your environment reflects your mindset. Look at the images on your walls, the phrases you display, the colors in your space. Bring in objects that symbolize abundance to you. A healthy plant, a gold candle, a picture of the sun, a bowl of coins. These aren't superstitions, but reminders that activate your subconscious and align your daily view with a vision of plenty. 6. Use money as a mirror, not a tyrant. When money challenges arise, see them as chances to look inward. What part of you feels lack? What emotions come up? What stories are you telling yourself? Instead of panicking, shift into alchemy mode. Ask, listen, and heal. Money is a tough but fair teacher. It shows what needs healing, not punishment you deserve. 7. Share your vision, not just your complaints. Talk more about what you're creating than what you're missing. If you gather to complain about the economy, you reinforce a collective scarcity mindset. But if you share dreams, strategies, and inspiration, you build a network of positive energy. Surround yourself with people who believe in growth, not just survival. Your community is part of your attraction field. Bringing these tips into your daily life isn't a one-time effort. It's a constant choice to vibrate differently. When you do, you don't just change your relationship with money. You change how you show up in the world. Remember, money isn't just paper, coins, or numbers in a bank account. It's a thread of energy vibrating in tune with your intention, presence, and inner worth. That's when abundance stops being an external goal and starts revealing itself as a reflection of your energetic harmony. In this journey we've taken together, we've broken down the idea of money as just an economic tool. We've stripped away the heavy emotional baggage from centuries of guilt, scarcity, and control, and returned money to its subtle essence, a living frequency aligned with your inner state, a mirror, a bridge. Money activates not when you obsess over having it, but when you become an open, clear channel for its flow. True wealth starts not with numbers, but with deep silence, clear thinking, and a heart full of purpose. You've learned that money's energy is movement. It belongs not to those who hoard, but to those who keep it circulating. Every act of gratitude, trust, and creativity rewrites your electromagnetic field. You don't have to fight for money. You just have to remember how to invite it with your vibration, like welcoming a beloved guest into a clean, bright, open home. Above all, this relationship with money is part of your spiritual path. Healing your bond with abundance heals your roots, your lineage, your identity, and restores your divine right to create, share, and grow. Because abundance isn't just having, it's knowing you can give without fear. It's understanding the universe doesn't run out because you don't run out. It's living from a place of love, not trying to fill a hole, but shining from a full heart. Now, I invite you to bring this wisdom to life. Try these practices, examine your beliefs, and change your daily habits. Let money be not the goal, but the echo of your inner growth. May every financial choice you make be an act of transformation, and may every dollar you exchange carry the vibration of your purpose. If this message resonated with you or you think it could help someone else, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let this circle of awareness grow. If you want to keep exploring these hidden truths, subscribe, leave a like, and hit the notification bell. Help spread this frequency by sharing this video with other seekers like you. Real abundance multiplies when we spread the light. Until next time, remember, you are the field, you are the source. Money, like everything in the universe, responds to those who are unshakable. Someone who doesn't flinch in the face of criticism, rejection, loss, or betrayal. Have you ever fantasized about the moment when you would finally stop carrying that deep, gnawing pain inside? The kind of torment that lingers no matter how confident or brave you appear on the outside. Maybe you're weary from constantly trying to meet others' expectations and from wearing the mask of invincibility, when all you really crave is a fleeting moment of peace from the overwhelming pressure to stay untouchable. But here's a truth many shy away from acknowledging. As long as you keep running from pain, it will continue to hold power over you. As long as you continue to numb, protect, or hide yourself, you are trapped by hurtful words, by actions that disappoint, by silences that cut deeper than any physical wound. This is not a sign of weakness. It's the reality of being human. And while some are better at hiding it, everyone carries this within them. Carl Jung, one of the most influential figures in depth psychology, famously said, "We are not what happens to us, but what we choose to become." This is the crux of it. It's not about building walls to shield yourself from the world, becoming emotionally detached, or pretending you're impervious to pain. True strength lies in integration, bringing into the light the parts of yourself that have been locked away in the shadows. Strength isn't about having no pain. It's about being fully aware of who you are, even when you're broken. If you've made it this far, I'm speaking to you, the one who's exhausted from carrying wounds that only seem to multiply, the one who feels constantly on the back foot, as though everyone else holds some kind of power over your peace of mind. I want to show you that this doesn't have to be your unchangeable reality. But in order to transform, you must first confront the difficult truths. And perhaps, for the first time, it's that pain that can set you free. You may think the source of your pain lies outside of you, in someone's harsh words, in betrayals that came from nowhere, or in the abandonment that left you isolated. But here's the harsh truth: none of these external forces can truly hurt you unless there is already a wound inside you that they are touching. What really causes you pain is not what others do. It's how those experiences activate old wounds within you. unresolved trauma, the stories you keep telling yourself, the hollow space you try to fill with pride, and the desperate desire to appear put together. Jung's teachings suggest that external pain is simply a reflection of what remains unhealed within. This is why some people can endure devastation and emerge with clarity, while others crumble at the slightest criticism. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how it resonates with what remains unhealed in your soul. Here's another tough pill to swallow. Your suffering runs deep because on some level, you still believe you can control how the world treats you. You keep striving to be good enough, smart enough, strong enough, understanding enough, believing that if you meet these expectations, you'll somehow be shielded from pain. But control is nothing but an illusion. As long as you cling to this belief, you live in a state of constant tension, trying to anticipate the unpredictable, avoid the unavoidable. If you truly want to end the cycle of suffering, stop running from it. What you need isn't more control over your circumstances, it's more awareness. As long as you believe that other people need to change in order for you to stop feeling pain, you will remain trapped by their actions. Your true freedom begins the moment you realize that nothing external has power over you unless it finds an echo inside of you, and that, the realm you cannot see, is the real battlefield, the unconscious. What you don't understand, what you've suppressed or ignored, will end up mastering you. In the next phase, we'll delve into this hidden world, because real transformation happens when you face it head on. The greatest misconception you've been fed is that you control your own life, because in truth, you don't. Not if you continue living on autopilot, reacting without understanding why, feeling emotions without grasping their origin, making decisions only to later undermine them. Jung's words ring true here. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This is exactly what is happening. The pain you experience, the sudden bursts of anger, the deep sadness that seems to appear from nowhere. These are not random. They are messages from the parts of you that have been buried, forgotten, or repressed. To truly begin your healing journey, you must look inward, confront the hidden parts of yourself, and stop pretending that they don't exist. Only then will you step into the fullness of your power. Jung called this dark territory the unconscious, and it's no vague cloud of thoughts. It's a dynamic, intricate system of memories, traumas, desires, and fears that you refuse to confront, yet which continue to dictate your feelings, behaviors, and decisions. It's like a shadow that follows you, shaping your reactions and interactions, even when you're unaware of its presence. You wonder why certain words devastate you, while others hardly leave a mark. Because those words are not just mere triggers, but echoes of deep-seated wounds you've buried, yet never fully healed. These wounds, which you thought you could forget, still influence you in ways you can't easily control. You've merely swept them under a psychological rug, but no matter how much you try to ignore them, they remain. They hide in the corners of your mind, waiting for a moment to resurface, tripping you up when you least expect it. Jung warned, we cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation doesn't liberate, it oppresses. Yet most of your life has been spent judging, repressing, and silencing parts of yourself, as if pretending those parts don't exist will somehow make them go away. But the unconscious is not something that can be simply wished away. It doesn't vanish just because you refuse to acknowledge it. It only takes more insidious forms. It emerges in toxic relationships, self-sabotaging patterns, or even sudden bursts of anxiety that seem to come out of nowhere, especially when life appears to be going fine. This isn't some arbitrary misfortune or a result of bad luck. It's your unconscious mind trying desperately to wake you up. It's calling you to confront what you've long avoided, but you'd rather stay asleep, buried in your denial. If you truly want to be immune to hurt, you need to stop running from what lies within. As long as your unconscious remains a mystery to you, you remain its puppet, and no matter how much you try to shield yourself from external pain, you will only make yourself more vulnerable to the inner turmoil that will not be ignored. The more you attempt to protect yourself from the outside world, the more your inner world will demand attention. There is a way out, and it's not through resistance, but through integration. Becoming untouchable doesn't mean building impenetrable walls around yourself. It means developing a deep understanding of who you are. It's not about constructing a fortress, but about coming to terms with the full complexity of your being. The kind of strength that makes you unshaken doesn't come from defensiveness. It's a product of wholehearted acceptance, a radical embrace of your shadows, your fears, your flaws, and your vulnerabilities. True emotional resilience comes from knowing yourself fully, not just the parts you want to show the world, but also the parts you've hidden away. Most people mistakenly believe that the only way to avoid pain is by closing off, building emotional walls, wearing masks, or developing layers of armor that make them appear invulnerable. I don't care anymore, they say, but in truth, they care deeply. Inside, they're bleeding, corroding, deteriorating, because the real issue isn't about not feeling. It's about not understanding what they feel or why they feel it. That disconnect only happens when you're unaware of your own emotional landscape, when you don't know who you really are beneath the surface. Jung was precise. Know all the theories, master all the techniques, but when touching a human soul, be just another human soul. That hidden, vulnerable self, you hide behind your masks of control and invulnerability. It's crying out to be seen, to be accepted. Only when you allow yourself to be fully human, flaws and all, can you begin to experience true freedom. True emotional strength has nothing to do with coldness or detachment, with denying pain or pretending indifference. It's about integration, the process of bringing everything you've buried into the light. You don't become untouchable by erecting barriers. You become untouchable when you embrace what's already within you. By integrating the hidden parts of yourself, by accepting your shadows, your flaws, your vulnerabilities, you stop reacting to life unconsciously. You stop being driven by impulses that are beyond your control. You begin to choose your responses, and that is where true freedom lies. Jung called this transformative process individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are, not who society expects you to be, not who you've convinced yourself you had to become in order to fit in, but who you were always meant to be in the interplay of your conscious self and unconscious forces. Individuation is not about achieving perfection, it's about integration, integrating your light and your shadow, your strengths and your weaknesses. You don't need to become a better person. You need to become a whole person. Here's the secret no one tells you. The more you run from pain, the more it chases you. The more you attempt to be unaffected by life's challenges, the more fragile you become. But when you face your wounds, when you embrace everything about yourself, both the beautiful and the ugly, the noble and the shameful, no external force can shake you. This path requires immense courage, the courage to look within, to abandon the masks, to feel deeply even when it's uncomfortable. It's only by facing pain head-on that you unlock the key to transformation. Far from being an enemy, suffering becomes the gateway to your true strength. Let's explore this deeper and find out why what you've been avoiding all along is precisely what will set you free. From the very beginning, you were conditioned to avoid pain. You were taught that suffering is a weakness, that vulnerability is something to hide, that feeling too much makes you exposed, fragile, so you learn to run, to deny, to avoid. But the more you flee from it, the more suffering shifts into other forms: anxiety, anger, apathy, self-destructive tendencies that you can't even recognize as such. Ignored pain doesn't disappear. It festers, it tunnels inside you, building pressure until eventually it collapses everything you've built. Jung viewed suffering differently. He saw it as a messenger of the soul, an alarm from the unconscious, a language through which your true self tries to communicate with you. Depression is like a lady in black, he said. If she appears, don't push her away. Invite her in, offer her coffee, and listen to what she has to say. Instead of embracing this invitation, most of us silence our pain, distract ourselves, numb ourselves, doing everything possible to avoid confronting what truly matters. What is this pain trying to tell me? What wisdom can I gain from this suffering? Only by embracing this inquiry can you start to transform pain into strength and begin to truly heal. The truth is, suffering cuts so deeply because at its core, you are at war with yourself. One part of you longs for growth, for progress, for the next chapter of your life. Yet another part of you clings desperately to the way things have always been. That internal friction is the birthplace of pain because growth is not easy. Change isn't painless. Letting go hurts, cutting toxic ties is painful, and allowing the old, broken parts of yourself to die is an agonizing process. But in this very pain, in this mourning, there's also the possibility of rebirth. It's an internal transformation, one that mirrors the natural cycle of death and life. It's in these moments of destruction, when everything you thought you knew crumbles, that something new can emerge, something truer, something more aligned with your authentic self. When you are stripped of all your defenses, when your certainties shatter, when the layers of pretense are peeled away, you are left face to face with your most raw and vulnerable form. And that is where you begin to see who you truly are, not the image you've spent years crafting, not the mask you wear for the world to see, but the real, unfiltered you. In this moment, suffering becomes sacred. It no longer feels like an enemy, but a guide that leads you toward freedom. It brings you to your knees, not in defeat, but in humble recognition of the power within you to overcome. Because it is through this suffering that you can reconnect with your truest self. Jung understood that suffering is not a failure of the system, but rather an integral part of the human process. Pain is not the end. It's the beginning of a deep journey, the journey toward individuation. Many people abandon this path when they encounter the darkness that lives within them. They retreat, distract themselves, and choose the easy way out. But if you've made it this far, you are ready to continue forward. In the next phase of this journey, we'll explore how this crossing from darkness into light happens and why the difficult, often lonely path of individuation is the one that ultimately brings you the freedom you've been searching for. It's getting deeper now. Few have the courage to even start the process of individuation. Even fewer have the fortitude to see it through to completion. This path is not for the faint-hearted. It offers no comfort, no guarantees, and certainly no protection for your ego. It will shatter it. Jung described individuation as the process of unlearning everything you think you know about yourself. And that is one of the most painful experiences you will ever endure. You will begin to see that many of the things you once identified with, your achievements, your traumas, the image you've carefully constructed to gain love and admiration, are all illusions. These were survival mechanisms, ways you protected yourself, but they were never truly you. And while surviving is necessary, it is not the same as living. Individuation is the call of life that calls you beyond mere survival to something far more expansive, a life that is yours, in its fullest expression. Individuation is when the unconscious mind begins to push all that has been repressed, hidden, or distorted to the surface. It demands that you dismantle your persona, the social mask you wear to navigate the world. Jung called it a mask of collective convenience. And the process of individuation requires you to tear off that mask. To uncover who you really are, you have to strip away all the layers that have been placed there by society, by others, and by yourself. Only when you undergo this process do you become untouchable, not because you've built walls to protect yourself from harm, but because you have faced the fire. You've confronted your deepest fears, the monsters that haunt your subconscious, and you've looked them in the eye. You've stared down your shame, your neediness, and your anger, and you've declared, "I see you, and you no longer control me." It is through this inner clarity, this new lucidity in the face of your own darkness, that you gain a strength unlike anything you've ever known. It's a strength that transcends the need for approval, recognition, or control. You no longer need to be loved by everyone, to win every battle, or to present a flawless image of yourself. Why? Because you now know who you are at your core, and no one can take that truth away from you. This is the true meaning of emotional armor, not a hard shell, but a solid center. It's the integration of all your parts, the light and the dark, into a strong, unified core that holds you steady in the midst of any storm. You may feel pain, but it won't break you. You may be hurt, but you won't lose yourself. Why? Because you're no longer reactive to the world around you. You've become whole, and you live in the depths of your being. But that depth, that power, comes at a price. Loneliness. Not because you will be completely isolated, but because very few people will be able to accompany you on this journey. Most will stay on the surface, too afraid to face the uncomfortable truths that lie beneath. As you continue on your path, you may find that some of those you once walked with are no longer by your side. But understand this, that distancing is not rejection, it is maturation. You are not withdrawing out of pride or ego. You are simply growing into a new phase of your life, one where you no longer fit into the spaces you once occupied. And this brings us to the final point of the journey, consciousness as a shield. It's not brute strength that protects you, it's clarity. In the next section, we will delve into how true protection comes not from building barriers around you, but from developing a deep, unwavering awareness of yourself and the world around you. When you see clearly, nothing has the power to dominate you. Now that you've journeyed with me this far, there is one final truth to embrace. Nothing external can shield you from suffering if you remain unconscious within. The hurtful words, the betrayals, the losses, they will still affect you. They will still sting until you awaken. But awakening is not a magical event. It's a choice made every day. It's the choice to look inward even when it's painful. It's the decision to take full responsibility for your feelings without blaming others, the past, or fate. Jung said, "What you resist persists. What you accept transforms you." You have spent much of your life resisting the fear of not being enough, the sting of rejection, the emptiness of loneliness, and the heartache of feeling unseen. What did you do with all of that? You hid it away, you silenced it, you tried to control it, you tried to be perfect, to be strong, and in doing so, you wore yourself out. But now, you know the truth. True emotional immunity is not about hardness, it's about clarity. It's not about building armor around yourself. It's about expanding your awareness, your consciousness. When you begin to understand your triggers, your patterns, and your wounds, the actions of others no longer have the power to destroy you. You still feel, but you don't drown. You still suffer, but you don't lose yourself. And that changes everything. What protects you now is not the act of shielding yourself from life. It's the decision to dive deep into it. Those who skim the surface are tossed around by every wave. But those who dive into the depths understand the power that lies below. This is where you are headed. When you start living from a place of integration, presence, and acceptance, the world will still try to knock you down, but it will no longer know where to strike. If this message resonates with you, comment below, "I choose awareness." Let's begin a movement of people who refuse to merely survive by pretending to be strong. Instead, let's choose to live in truth. And remember, this is just the beginning. The real transformation happens when you don't stop after the first step. Keep moving forward. Your journey is only just beginning.